Oh, it's exciting. Obviously, there's a great football tradition here, and I know there was some frustration in the first few years in the conference. They weren't maybe doing as well as they had done in the prior years, but I know there's a great fan base here around football, great excitement, and there was an adjustment clearly, right, coming into the conference on a lot of levels. But it's exciting to see the program develop the way it has and be so competitive and be ranked and be right there in the mix in the Pac-12 South, which is really tough this year. To a large extent, we made a big adjustment when we structured our new TV deals. We got a lot more exposure, all national exposure, a lot more revenue, and part of that was with ESPN and Fox in particular, giving them nighttime windows, which are really valuable to them and give us great exposure nationally. So it's a combination. Today, for example, we had Notre Dame and ASU, go at let's see,
1:30.
1:30, which was 3:30 Eastern time. I was trying to convert to Eastern time. And other games starting late afternoon and then some nighttime games. But it's a really valuable window to our broadcast partners, and seems somewhat counterintuitive, but actually gets really good ratings. With not too many games we're going up against at the hour that we play, with an 8 p.m. kick Mountain Time, and it winds up getting a pretty large audience. Some of our best rated games happen to be the nighttime window. So I know it's challenging on fans, and what we try to do is spread it among schools. So we're tracking every week how many schools have played nighttime games at home and trying to make sure that there's a balance. And we've done some things this season to see if we could mitigate it to some extent, working with our broadcast partners. One of the things we did was open up an 11 a.m. Pacific time window, which we hadn't done before. I think we, in fact, had a game go off at 10 a.m. Pacific time and 11 a.m. Mountain Time, Colorado game recently. So, we'll continue tweaking it and trying to adjust it. But largely, this nighttime window is certainly here to stay. It's valuable for TV, and we'll just try to make it as fair as possible across the schools. It's something that gets discussed regularly. Our coaches regularly bring it up. They want to make sure that our conference is not at a competitive disadvantage. There are a lot of reasons why our conference has felt strongly about keeping 9 conference games, including having good quality matchups are important in terms of what the fans want and filling the stadium. When we moved from a 10-team conference where every school played each other every year to a 12-team conference where you'd have to miss some teams, our schools felt strongly they wanted to play each other as much as possible. There's great traditions and rivalries between the schools, and if you went from 9 games to 8 games, you'd give up an important conference matchup every year. Moreover, just feel like that's the right way to schedule. Put as many good teams as you can into your home stadium, and that's one of the reasons our schools tend to not only play 9 conference games, but schedule tough non-conference games, like Arizona State hosting Notre Dame, USC and Stanford play Notre Dame every year, Oregon hosted Michigan State, Utah went to Michigan, will be hosting them next year. So I think it's good for fans, and I actually believe it'll work in our favor long-term vis-a-vis the playoff. Commissioners have indicated that when comparing comparable teams, you want strength of schedule to be an important factor, as well as being a conference champion and head-to-head results. So I think it's going to help us over time, and I think you'll see other conferences move in this direction. I know the Big Ten is going to go to 9 games, and ACC and SEC continue to talk about it. Big 12, of course, is already at 9 games, but they don't have a championship game. We're the only conference that's got 9 conference games and a championship game. It's one of the reasons I felt confident saying we've got the toughest road to being a conference champion. It's exciting. I think it's going to elevate the interest. I mean, as hard to imagine as it is, with the heightened interest college football has had, I think the playoff is going to be great and take it to another level. More teams in contention, having a chance to be in that first playoff, and there's been a lot of great buzz about it. So, delighted by it. It's hard to say. I mean, I don't really know how to judge the AP poll, and really not paying a lot of attention to the polls. It was one of the reasons we wanted to move to a selection committee, is to have a great cross-section of people, from coaches to athletics administrators to, we've got some media on it, of course, as well, people that were experienced with the men's basketball committee. So I think the commissioners put together the selection committee because we thought it would be the most credible group we could put together. So that's one we're focused on. So I don't worry a lot about how that compares to the other polls. We decided to move away from those polls. The coaches poll and the AP were factors in the or not the AP but the Harris were factors in the BCS. We decided to move away from that, and I'm glad that we did. We've got a real all-star committee. I've got a lot of confidence in the process that they're going through and the caliber of people that are on it. Not sequestered, but we've got ground rules we've all agreed to follow. So there is contact with the committee. Each conference has got 2 committee members assigned to them, and there are a few times during the season that we speak to them to give them our view of how the conference is developing and how our teams stack.
A little bit of lobbying?
Not lobbying, just making sure they fully understand all that there is to appreciate about the Pac-12 conference.